Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Macho Madness in house now! As we are ready to make it happen, yeah! X marks for cast! Yeah, dig it! No, at least I would be doing that. Hello, ladies and gentlemen! Welcome to the first official episode of X Marks for Cast, the podcast that literally leaves a spot in shape of an X as we discuss a wad of other stuff here on the show. Mostly nerdy related, maybe even some wrestling related, like this evening's big first episode. I'm looking forward to stuff. If you are new to the YouTube, the Twitch, to anywhere where we're live streaming this evening, hello there. Nice to meet you. I am TheXploder, aka Dom. It's very nice to meet you. And we are ready. Because tonight I'm hitting it hard with my first ever official episode of the podcast, with also my first ever review of a wrestling pay-per-view. Now, of course, how the podcast is normally going to go. So we normally have a topic or something that we're going to do for the main part of the show. And then at the end, I could be with a special guest for that part of the show as well, by the way, if anyone's available. And then we're going to be leaving it up to you guys. So if you guys have any questions, anything you want to ask me that's related to the topic, or related to anything else that has been hubbing and buzzing about recently, then go for it. It might not be as in-depth as would be a proper topic to bring up, but we'll certainly do our best and have a good time doing it all. Because that's what it's all about. Staying explosive, being the best you could possibly be. Great. So, of course, I'm dressed up as... well, at least part of me's dressed up at the moment. I'm still waiting on my t-shirt to arrive, which might have arrived earlier today, but they didn't knock on the door. It makes me mad, yeah! Just thinking about it. But effectively, yes. Macho Man Randy Savage in the house, in aura of me. And I'm channeling the Macho Man as we review Hell in a Cell 2017 this year. I might eventually take this off at some point during the podcast. We'll see how we go. So, let's hit it off. So, Hell in a Cell 2017. If anyone has any questions about my thoughts on the current state of WWE, especially since apparently Neville's left and one of their lead producers has been fired, which is crazy, then we'll probably bring that up at the end. But none of that matters, because right now we're talking about the most recent pay-per-view. It was a SmackDown pay-per-view as well, featuring the SmackDown stars. And we kicked everything off. I'm not including the pre-show on this, just because the pre-show was... now, really, I didn't care much about the pre-show at all. Well, the thing is, Austin Aries left first because he was just being underappreciated, and it shows. When he was in NXT, he was loved. And then they shove him... after they're done with him, they don't do with him what they did with Finn Balor, where they book him to be a really big main eventer that he deserves to be. They just shove him with the cruiserweights. They absolutely shafted Austin Aries. So for him to leave, I completely understand on that front. But Neville was built to be like the king of the cruiserweights, and him being like the big pull. If he's not working there anymore, take him to Raw or SmackDown. Let him do what he has to do, but they refuse to do that. I find that ridiculous. But, as I said, we'll cover that later if it comes up in conversation. You know what, I'm gonna have to take off the bandana. Oh, I know. It might come back on later. We'll see how we do. But yes, Hell in a Cell 2017, the first match of the card. The Hell in a Cell tag team match with the Usos versus the New Day, the champions defending. I was really hyped for this, actually. I haven't seen any... well, no, personally, I haven't actually seen any tag team Hell in a Cell matches at all. So seeing something along this line was brilliant. I was really looking forward to what these guys can do. Obviously, the New Day are like the biggest team right now. So over that you can sell anything from bootios to unicorn horns. It's that crazy. And after this, I'll be very surprised if they're not selling unicorn kendo, or like rainbow-coloured kendo sticks. That's what they were. We'll get into that in a little bit later. And the Usos, I personally love them. I love how they've gone from being like these very tight-knit babyface tag team that you just grew to hate eventually because they were just doing the same thing over and over again. And their heel personas are brilliant. I love heel Usos. Like, and them, like, being like these Detroit, like, I'm gonna take you down to the penitentiary and bits like that. I love it. I really love that angle. So having this match to start things off, brilliant. Heyo! Hey Kerry, how you doing? So, with that all said, to start off the show, we lead straight in with Big E with a kind of new style of promoting it. Because, like, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, they do their usual thing. They're hyping up the crowd. They're just going, baby! And all that. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Big E takes a microphone. He does, like, this very, like, kind of heelish, very deep end to the promo instead of his usual, because! Like, and it was kind of strange, but I liked it. It kind of set the stage for what the match was going into. The Usos, like, doing the whole, like, the gangster stroll in, get in the ring, let's get going. I'm really enjoying the heel Usos here. They were brilliant. Everyone was brilliant in this match. So, right from the get-go, who is the first tag team to grab weapons and start using them? You would think the Usos, because the Usos are being booked as the heel team in this one. The New Day actually go for them first. That surprised me. Because I normally go with the presumption that heels go for weapons first. Because they're the heels, they're the bad guys, any means necessary to win their matches, and weapons make sense. For the good guys to use weapons, it's a bit... like, in storyline context, it doesn't quite make sense. Because then you've got the good guys using weapons to get over the bad guys, when they shouldn't have to, and they should only resort to weapons if push came to shove, or they just happen to be there, you know? That's the best way to use it. So, bit of a shock to me. Like, potentially hinting at a New Day heel turn? Because of the end of the match, but it was a bit interesting, but, like, some still great moments. Still great moments. Soon after, like, a wad of weapons were, like, being thrown out and people started clobbering and throwing people out of the ring, Big E just lands this amazing spear from the inside of the ring going outside of the ring, as I think it was Jimmy who was standing on the ropes at the time, spears him back straight onto the back of the cell. And I felt so sorry for Big E's head. He looked like he whacked that so hard against the cell. I was worried for him for the rest of the match, but him being, like, the hulked up super trooper that he is, he just cracks on and does it. That was amazing. And then another one. So, there was this good point in the match where Xavier Woods takes his trombone, that we all know and love, smacks it over one of the heel's heads. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, there's this whole angle where someone did that and broke the trombone, and it broke you to the point where you had to get a second one. So you've just done it, and then all of a sudden Big E is, like, looking under the ring, and Big E just gets out another one and just passes it over, smacks him over the head again. And I'm thinking, that was a great spot, but now you're just going through trombones like they're nothing. Like, this is really making it look as if New Day are going to turn heel. Which, if they do, interesting. Looking forward to see how they pull that off. I know they can, but ooh, lovely. And the awesome thing is, like, they do the trombones, and then they find all these, like, strange musical instruments underneath there. So you go through 2 trombones, then you get a frigging cowbell. And then, who was it? I think it was Corey Graves, but just said, but you gotta have more cowbell! And I'm marking out. I'm completely marking out at this point. As we have cowbell, we have a cymbal as well. It's like, the time has come! Bing! Before smashing him overhead. It was great. Like, this... You're soon to find out, this match is a spot fest. And sometimes for me, spot fests work. Some of them, sometimes they don't. It depends on the talent of the story they're going with. This worked. This worked a lot. And I loved it. And I implore you, if you want to watch a really fun match, watch this. This was just fun. So it keeps going. You had that musical beatdown. Lots of weapon spots that are all super fun. Both team having equal times of weapons as well. Because then you have you have New Day doing all that stuff with the trombone and the cymbal and the cowbell, and then all of a sudden, the Usos get to the top of things, and they start ripping out the kendo sticks, and it's smack, like torture smacks to the back of Xavier Woods, as they're just smacking with him, daylights out of him, breaking the kendo sticks as a response. Damn. Like, very, very good job. So they're both kitted out to be like these dominant figures. So you don't know who's going to win very early on, and even midway through. Great. There was a very nice double team where effectively at this point Xavier Woods was knocked out on the outside, and Big E was having some trouble with the Usos to the point where now he's on the apron. What happens next is that as Big E is hanging onto the apron, I think this is Jay at this point, was running into him to like clothesline him off, or to even clothesline him back into the ring while on the apron. He runs up, Big E grabs him into a really nice STO, but he was going to land back first onto the floor. And then Xavier Woods out of nowhere just jumps in, grabs him for like a code breaker, backbreaker. Oh, savage. Absolute savagery. I love that tag team. So you also have this awesome moment where they realise, okay, Big E's the big threat, and if we whittle him down, there's no way he's going to get up. So they beat the crap out of Xavier, and then they lock Xavier in the corner of the cell by just putting kendo sticks, literally locked it up to his face, his chest, going down his legs, so he literally just can't break out at all. So they've literally just made him stuck in the cell. That's pretty nuts. And they're just mashing him against those walls. It was lush. It was absolutely lush. And it keeps going on. Absolute smash fest with like the cage walls and everything being used. Corey Graves as well. Amazing work as usual. Like, fantastic commentary, even bringing up a RoboCop reference, which was brilliant. This is why I love Corey Graves. He's got some amazing commentary skills. It's brilliant. And this match deserved the amount of time that it got. It was brilliant from the get-go all the way to the end. You have this amazing potential finish where Big E's like broken down in the middle of the ring. The Usos get on their opposite corners. The Uso splash as they both dive down, splash on top. It's known as the double Us, but I know as double Us or Uso splash, I sometimes call it. They both slam down. 1, 2, and out of nowhere, the seemingly defeated Xavier Woods just crawls in and breaks it. Lose my mind moment. I'm thinking, oh damn, you're going to have to do more than this. So they double up. They take Xavier Woods down. Throw Big E out. Get Xavier Woods down in the middle of the ring with a chair on top of him. Double Us onto the chair, onto Xavier Woods, which is going to be painful for both parties, in my opinion. 1, 2, 3. New tag team champions. The Usos winning. What a great opener. Like, if you want a way to kick off a pay-per-view, this is how you do it. Wow. Amazing stuff. So, straight up, I've just got to... I've given it a 4 out of 5 in my review here. And it really does deserve it. It's a 4 out of 5 match. It's bloody brilliant. It's only 4 out of 5 because I was a little bit confused as to why the New Day was so weapon-focused. It didn't seem very face-like of them to do that. But it did make for a really fun and engaging match. So I can't take that away. Really good job kickstarting the show with New Day and the new champions, the Usos. Love it. So let's move on. We had a really nice AJ promo with a nice Tom Penny quote. That was pretty cool. It was standard stuff. Wasn't anything too big and out there. This wasn't like... it's not like AJ's given like all the leeway to make like one of the greatest promos of his career. It's a standard one leading up to tonight's match. We'll get to that match a little bit later. Because for next match, Rusev versus Randy Orton. Revenge of Rusev Day, as I like to call it, as this is the fallout of what happened when Rusev was given the key to the city. It was all about Rusev Day. And then Randy Orton comes out of nowhere and he's like, nope. RKO's out of nowhere, decimating everything. It's all about Orton. Screw you, Rusev, which I'm very upset about. I love Rusev. I really do. I think Rusev is a very big, underrated talent that deserves more time. I think he deserves a championship on him. He was amazing as the US champion. I don't know why they've kicked him so far down the curb since. It's ridiculous. I find it ridiculous. But we have this match. We have Rusev on the main pay-per-view in a singles match against Randy Orton. And in all honesty, Randy Orton is brilliant. Like, don't get me wrong, Randy's very much the kind of guy where he can either have a fantastic match or a match that just drags and instantly gets boring. And we'll soon find out that this is one of those matches where it instantly gets boring. At least for me. It was slow. It just dragged. Like, you could see the Rusev wanted to make this match something awesome, but he just couldn't. And I think that was a limitation of what Orton was willing to do with him, at least from what I got from it all. So, again, very good commentary from Corey Graves as the match starts. Randy Orton comes in, and as he's like going down the ramp, Corey Graves comes out saying how Randy Orton used to be the legend killer, and now he's the legend that Rusev is looking to kill. Love it. Fantastic work there by Corey Graves. Give that man a medal. So, there's like a moment very early on where Randy seemingly seems to go for an RKO, and Rusev's like, no, no, no! Like, no, no, no! He does this whole, like, no, no, no thing, and I'm like, oh Ruru, you crazy guy. Oh, it's crazy. But it's booked quite straightforward. It's your basic strongman versus like legacy talent booking. It's Rusev's the big guy. He'll clobber you, he'll beat the crap out of you, he'll stomp you and all this jazz. But Orton's the veteran. He's like putting on submission holds. He's trying to whittle you down bit by bit, waiting for the right moment to strike with the RKO. And it was alright. It was just slow for the most part. It just felt very, very slow. Very stomp heavy, as I put in my notes. There was a lot of stomping. A lot of stomping. And then there was this really nice work by Rusev where he just grabs Orton and does like a throwback backdrop onto the barricade. But Rusev, like, Rusev early on in the match does that. So he gets like, grabs Orton, does a fall away slam into the barricade and Orton's back, which looked amazing. And then Orton retaliates a little bit later on by doing like a back suplex thing onto the barricade. But Rusev just like shaves it off in a little bit and just clobbers Orton back down again. And it's just made to look like it's gonna be much harder to take down Rusev than Orton thought. Which I thought would be an interesting story, but apart from that one bit, nothing else really happened that translated that story across. There was just no real story in this match at all. Didn't feel like anything was happening. It was just two guys having a match, and that's it. And we just had to enjoy it, or in some cases, just needlessly sit through it, or go to the toilet. This is early loo break worthy, basically. So, again, it's one of those moments where Rusev gets up a bit of steam. He does this really nice moment where he runs around the ring, picking up speed, and then just smacks Orton in the face with his boot. Loved it. But every time Rusev builds up speed, Orton immediately kills it and grabs all the speed off again. And I'm like, come on, give Rusev some time. Give him time to look amazing. That's all we're asking. And we're never given it. And that's probably one of the biggest problems in this match. There's even like this mini story going on where Orton's trying to get like his second rope DDT locked in and shoved down, and that's not happening anytime soon, which was kind of interesting. And then the payoff just happened. There was no lead up to it. Like, Rusev just happened to be on the apron. Orton just grabs him, shoves him through, and drops him like nobody's business out of nowhere. And it's like, great. That's an element of the story thrown out of the window. I didn't think much of it. And effectively, a smashing ground taunt, which looked awesome. And then it looked like he's smashing the ground as he normally does to get ready for the RKO. And Rusev seems to grab it and reverse it at first, and I'm thinking, yes, Rusev! Yes! Reverse this and win! And no, the RKO still comes and Randy Orton wins. It was an okay match, as I say on my notes. I feel really sorry for Rusev. He deserves a lot better. He really does. This had a heck of a lot of nothing. It was a boring match, and I've seen these guys do way better. And I give it a 2 out of 5. It's that bad. Like, it's a 2 because it's not a 1 to the point where it's so god awful I want to stop. Because there were signs in this match where I loved what Rusev and Orton were doing. It just fell flat. Simple as. And because it fell flat, 2 out of 5 for the second match of the evening. It's okay. A little bit of a letdown after the amazing match that started it all off. But things pick up. Things pick up in just a moment. But before the next match, we get an amazing advert with Kurt Angle as Colonel Sanders, hyping up the Colonel Sanders after them doing like the whole KFC adverts recently. Not just are you going to have Kurt Angle as a DLC character as a pre-order, you're also going to get Colonel Sanders as a DLC character for WWE 2K18. I'm normally not too bothered by this, but hell, friggin' fun. I like the sound of it. That advert was bloody brilliant. Kurt Angle, amazing. He's still got it. Still got it. And moving on, we have one of the matches of the night, and the tag team Hell in a Cell match, fantastic. Can't put that away. In fact, I'm willing to say this is like one of the 3 best of the night matches, because you had the first match of the night, the Hell in a Cell tag team match, which was brilliant. Great way to start off the show. Then you had this, the triple threat tag match. Well, triple threat tag. That'd be amazing. But triple threat match for the United States Championship. AJ Styles, the champion, defending against Baron Corbin. And thanks to events on the pre-show, Ty Dillinger's now in the mix. The perfect 10! It's brilliant. So having Ty Dillinger in the match is awesome. He deserved to be in there after getting a clean pinfall victory on Baron Corbin in the SmackDown before. So he gets his way in. And I originally thought, okay, but I want to make sure that this is legit. I don't want this to end up being a singles match with AJ and Baron Corbin featuring Ty Dillinger. I want this to be a proper triple threat match. And we'll get to it in just a moment. Let me just have a sip. Ooh, that's good squashy. Right. So first things first, love the fact that Ty Dillinger's in. We've gone past that. Baron Corbin's theme update. It was my first time hearing Baron Corbin's like new updated Bad Mood Corbin theme. Very good, very fitting. And of course, AJ's brilliant like usual. I did like how AJ had like a red glove, a blue glove, a red boot, and a yellow boot with white accents. Very smart. What a way to put yourself over as the US champion by representing the flag in a subtle way. Like, he didn't go all out and have like the United States flag tights that I've seen a few times from other wrestlers in the past. He didn't go that far. He had his regular tights with some red, white and blue splashed in there. That's brilliant. That's all you need to do. AJ, everyone looked great. And then, like, randomly in the match, there was a hilarious moment where you had the fans chanting, "Where's your briefcase?" And I find that brilliant. Just everyone going nuts over the briefcase. I don't understand the full context of that whole chant, but it was hilarious. So, well done, fans. Well done for making a good chant for once instead of just plaguing the show with shit chants, because that's happened. It happened in the past. So the story. You got AJ and Dillinger trying to keep Corbin out of the match as best as they can so that they can concentrate on them, because they know Corbin's going to be for one. Corbin's going to be the one to look out for. He's got the size advantage, the power advantage, and he's the scare. So very good move from the guys. They take turns in the ring to like have their moments between each other. So you have like AJ and Ty, then you have AJ and Corbin, then you have Corbin and Ty. So everyone gets their fair shot with one another to help put each other over and make everyone look like a potential US champion, which is great. Oh, excuse me. That was awful. I do apologize. Ooh. One of those nights. It really is one of those nights. So, one thing I also love, I've fallen in love with Baron Corbin over the years. I've loved him in NXT. I loved him in this match. His in-ring insults to like the superstars as he's beating them down was brilliant. And the whole like beatdown session with Corbin being made to look like this absolute monster. Fantastic from beginning to end. Like, they did a really good job putting Baron Corbin over as this real big threat that you must look out for. Especially after what happened with the Money in the Bank briefcase and the fallout afterwards. Like, Baron's just been shafted this whole time. So, it's really good to see him get some proper in-ring airtime and really time to show off his stuff. Especially at a pay-per-view level. Really good stuff. So, there's AJ like bumping like an absolute boss, like against like the ring corners, the barricades, the steps, everything was happening. It was just nuts to see AJ bumping like an absolute crazy man. Oh, go back to Ring of Honor. Maybe, I don't know. It was alright. It was good in Ring of Honor, but he's paid his dues. He deserves to be the granddaddy of them all. At least that's what I like to say. So what do we got next? I'm just reading my notes. Hold on. So yes, we get this big lead up of Baron Corbin, dominating absolutely everyone. Taking out all the bits here and there. And then you have this big takedown moment where AJ finally manages to take down Corbin after he's been up on his feet for so long. There's this lovely top rope suplex where AJ... no, what was it? No, it was Ty Dillinger jumping in. AJ grabbing it. Hello, mother. And going in for the suplex. Absolutely driving that suplex down. It was absolutely lovely to see that. Nice Styles Clash reversal into a calf crusher, which looked like it was going to do something, and then Baron Corbin just grabs Ty Dillinger, pushing him out. Pulling him out, and making sure that the break immediately happens. Really smart move there by Corbin. Really fun stuff. Like, there was a great series of small packages between Corbin and AJ to see who can get a quick win out of them all while Ty was knocked out, but that went to nothing. And then AJ goes for another phenomenal forearm. He's been trying to land these on Corbin all match and failing every single one of them. And this one in particular, he goes for it. Corbin grabs in midair, turns it into a choke slam as he turns round. That was gorgeous. And only a 2 count. Damn. Really, really good high-octane match that just made you constantly on your toes, waiting for the next big thing to happen. This was a great, like, match to show off everyone's talents. Like, everyone had a chance to shine, which was brilliant. There was a very, like, close pin from Ty on Baron Corbin after Styles landed a Pele kick, because he had this sequence where Ty Dillinger took out Corbin, was trying to take out AJ, but AJ reversed it into a Pele. Pele's Ty Dillinger, he gets knocked backwards, lands on top of Baron Corbin, so the ref's like, 1, 2, and then Corbin breaks out of it, and we're like, oh, that could have been a big upset for AJ. These guys were on point. Very smart booking indeed. There was a beautiful 450 slingshot by AJ where I generally thought he might have been trying for like a shooting star press. But no, he went for a 450. It was absolutely beautiful. That was on Baron Corbin. 1-2, broken up by Ty Dillinger, keeping the match going a little bit longer, which is absolutely fine because we were all loving it at this point. And then Styles finally landing his phenomenal forearm, but that's on Ty Dillinger. Then Corbin, out of nowhere, dashes back into the ring, chucks out AJ, grabs Ty, puts his leg up. 1, 2, 3. We have a new United States champion after he has stolen it right under the nose of AJ Styles himself. Baron Corbin is our new United States champion. My God. And it works. It really works. Like, the US Championship was made to look amazing in that match. And in comparison to the WWE Championship, which we'll get to in just a minute, it just stole it. But this was a match that really stole the night for me. And it was gorgeous. I loved the finish and the way Corbin was made to look. Great match from all three. There was a slight draggy bit earlier with Baron Corbin's beatdown sessions. I thought that personally went a little bit too long. Could probably cut that. Not by half, but at least like cut the last like 6th or 8th off, because it just felt a little bit too long. But apart from that, it was a very fun match. Nice to see Corbin as the United States champion. Very good. Very, very good. And it didn't even need the Hell in a Cell to make it work. It didn't need it. It didn't need the cell. So, that's great. That's fantastic. Well done to all three of them. 4 out of 5 for that match. Another great match, 4 out of 5. So that's 2 4 out of 5s and a 2 out of 5 so far. So after this, we get the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Natalya versus Charlotte Flair. I was looking forward to this. Like a classic, classic Hearts versus Flair match. It was nice to have like a really nice feud with Charlotte again after what's been happening with Ric Flair. But this was just money. Right from the get-go. I was instantly sold, especially on the promo package, which was really nicely done. Even the entrance gears for both of them are really good. Like Natalya's got like this chained up jacket. Signs of like the Anvil Neidhart, because he used to come down with the chains around his neck. Seeing that was brilliant. A little bit of shades of her dad. And then of course Charlotte with shades of her dad. In the gown. With the Flair name on the back of it. Woo! Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I loved how these girls looked right from the get-go. There we go. So, all of that happens, and I'm already hyped. And it's very much a battle of intimidation, because you have Charlotte and Natalya very early on. Just, like, trying to go for, like, their submission holds, trying to go up for roll-up pins, and just not having it. Charlotte's not, like, trying to show Natalie, I'm not a pushover, I'm Charlotte Flair. And you got this great classic heel and face booking that I just fell in love with. It felt quite nostalgic on that front. There was this nice like corner reverse where the girls were very good on fixing a potential botch, because there was this reversal where it looked like it was going to go into like a leg sweep or something, but effectively they fixed it very, very well on the fly and just went through with Natalya stomping Charlotte as if to break it out. Very good job. Well done, ladies. Shows their professionalism by the fact that they don't need to repeat a spot. They can just improvise on the fly to make it look like that was supposed to happen. Great stuff. Then this whole story started, and I enjoyed this. It was Natalya constantly working on Charlotte's leg, so Charlotte would have a tough time walking around, putting the pain onto Natalya, but on top of that, would also have difficulties later on trying to put on the figure 4 and the figure 8, which was a very smart move on Natalya's part. So seeing that happen, very, very good. This made the instant underdog story of now Charlotte is trying her best to fight back, is being dominant when she's able to be dominant, but Natalya just keeps striking back, taking it all down. And there was this one moment where Natalia poses and does like, yeah, but does it in such a way that it looks like she's doing like the Jinder Mahal Maharaja pose. And I just thought to myself, this actually kind of works for Natalia. She has a thing for Indian wrestlers, if you remember about the Great Khali. It was a thing. It happened. And who knows, maybe it's a sign that Natty and Great Khali might have a get back together moment before WrestleMania. Hope not, because Natty's much better now that she is a firm member of the women's division, which she deserves to be so bad. Doesn't deserve any comedy gimmicks anymore. None of that crap. She's a serious contender. So that happens. I loved it. It was like a slow, methodical, submission-based match with Natalia and Charlotte. Both made to look pretty damn good. It was really nice, and Charlotte's selling was brilliant as well with that leg. It was really, really nice. You have this beautiful powerbomb from the corner as Natalia slammed down, only for a 2 count. That was beautiful. Charlotte adapting her fighting style because of the injured leg. Again, very, very good. There was a sharpshooter in the center of the ring, and it was a true fight. And very nice reversal as Natalia gets the back of her head clocked on the bottom turnbuckle. Oh, it just made it look as if Charlotte was not going to go down without the proper fight. And then Charlotte goes to the top rope as Natalia's outside recovering. Does this great looking moonsault. Overclocks it ever so much, and I got really worried about that leg. Because, especially how she landed it with her knee, I was worried something had popped. And I think a lot of people were concerned, but it looked brilliant. Well done to Charlotte on that. But then out of nowhere, and this is where we get into iffy territory, because she may have injured her leg. And if she did injure her leg, then what Natalie does next makes sense. It makes sense because she keeps with being heel, but at the same time ends the match because they don't want to go on anymore because Charlotte may be seriously injured. If that's not the case, then this just came out of nowhere and made me think, what the hell is going on? This was completely uncalled for. So effectively what happened was, after all that, Charlotte's recovering, she gets back on her feet, and then Natalia, out of nowhere, off screen, comes in and smacks Charlotte's leg with a steel chair a good few times, and then walks off with a women's championship, winning, well, losing by disqualification, but keeping her championship, because you can't lose the championship on a disqualification unless someone books the match there. So, as I said, it was very much out of nowhere. There was no part at all during any part of the match, but Natalia showed any signs of needing or wanting to use outside means to try and keep her championship. There was nothing of that. It felt very forced, but as I said, if it's I've said here in my notes exactly what we're going to tell you guys. If it's related around Charlotte's leg to a point where they didn't want to cause serious injury to Charlotte's leg, then it's a 3, because the match overall was pretty damn good. If that's not the case, then it's a 2.5. And it's a 2.5 because it was a very good match, and then that was the only bit that made me go, huh? What? It just ended abruptly when it could deserve 5, or even if Charlotte was able to, a good 10 minutes more. It was looking to be a really fantastic women's match, and then it was just cut. Unsure why. Unsure why. So it's a bit of a mixed bag match. 2.5 or 3, depending on the actual circumstances of it. We get an installment of the Fashion Files. I love the Fashion Files. I love Fashion Files. I love Breezango and these hilarious moments they're in. And we get to see the Ascension, which are actually very, very good in these parts. Like, if you see the Ascension running with their own inspired characters in Southpaw Regional Wrestling, which is like their parody of like the mid-70s to the early 80s wrestling alliances back in the day. They're brilliant in that, so seeing them in this being a little bit more hilarious is great. But I really want the Ascension to come back in some form as an actual tag team. At the moment, it very much feels as if like both Breezango and Ascension, they're the tag teams where people just go, yeah, I'll watch them, but I know they're not going to win. And that's not fun. That's not fun. I think at some point I would love to see either the Ascension or more likely Breezango go for the championship and win. Because you can imagine Fashion Files Championship Edition. I'd love that. I'd love to see all that and see what would happen next. Next match of the evening. The WWE Championship match with Jinder Mahal as the champion, defending it against Shinsuke Nakamura. Love Nakamura to pieces. Following his stuff from New Japan and NXT, he was bloody amazing to watch. Jinder I've grown to like as a heel. Very forced to have the championship, but I've grown to eventually admire him as to what he can do. And his work alongside with the Singh brothers is nothing short of a brilliant idea by management. I think it's a great way to book Mahal, to make him like the good heel that always gets out of it by being a dominant guy, but having the Singh brothers as backup. I like that. I like that a lot. And I would like to say as well, in the promo packages, hello, I Love Clash. Hello, how you doing? And the thing I liked about this was that Nakamura's English in the promo packages was looking very, very good. It was a massive improvement to how I used to see him. And it's great to see a really good promo leading up to things. My god, Jinder is huge. Jinder looked bloody massive and built like a brick shithouse. And don't get me wrong, I've seen the interviews where he talks about like his workout regimen. I've seen his like videos of what he does. Holy cow! Like if you're doubtful that man can lift, just look at what he does. My god, Jinder. I don't want to be on the bad side of. Don't hinder the Jinder. That's it. Just don't hinder the Jinder. So it's a very slow start. It's establishing the whole, like, Jinder's like the powerhouse and Nakamura's more of like the technical hard. Obviously he comes from strong style, so strong style versus powerhouse Western style. And it's alright. You got like this awkward moment with roll-up pins into an armbar, but it was a solid recovery like what happened with Charlotte and Natalya in the match prior, so I'm willing to let that slide. That's perfectly fine. Shinsuke was very knee heavy. And it works for Shinsuke because with strong style and how the Kinshasa works, getting his knee to keep smacking his opponent is more like his way of, okay, his knee's getting used to like Mahal's body and getting used to Mahal's head. When the time comes, he's going to smack Mahal in there. Oh, Clash, thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Explosive Armada. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, on match day. If I wanted to do that. It was good. It was good booking. But there were some iffy moments. We're going to get there. So, the knee offense. Best knees in the business, in my opinion, apart from Kenny Omega. Of course, in New Japan. But for what we have in WWE, Shinsuke, bloody great job. Why is this not a Hell in a Cell match? Because you... Yeah, I do apologise about that. Oh, it's happening again. But I was just thinking to myself, why is this not a Hell in a Cell match? Because you could have made this a Hell in a Cell match for the championship and have the whole angle being that the Singh brothers want to help Jinder and Jinder's having a tough time against Shinsuke, and so Jinder has to use weapons, has to use the cell, has to use some dirty tactics, maybe even like the Singh brothers cutting like a hole in the cell to like pass weapons through or something like that. It would have added a little bit more of a dynamic, but without anything of that there, the match just felt like nothing for a championship match, especially a WWE championship match. It just felt like there wasn't a lot on. Well, yeah, there just wasn't a lot on. Simple as. Now, I haven't watched WWE in like a year, and then when I saw the Shield go back together, I was like, oh my god, I have to start watching again. Yes. Yes. We'll probably talk more about that at the end of the show, because if anyone has any questions about my thoughts on anything, We'll get to that. But currently we're in review mode. So yeah, it was just very much, it felt like a nothing match. Not a lot going on. It felt quite standard for Mahal, but I've seen Shinsuke do so much better. But let's talk about some of my good moments. There was a beautiful, like, apron to mat suplex from Mahal, where Mahal's like, just a gorgeous, very simple suplex made to look beautiful. It was great. There was a nice, like, second rope knee from Shinsuke, where he just jumps off the second rope and smacks him. The Singh brothers with their heel antics was very fun. Everyone going nuts when the referee's like, get out of here! And it was like, yeah! Because now we're like, right, Shinsuke's got a chance. But then, as soon as that happens, like, Mahal's like, on point, puts him a sleeper hold, slams down, 1, 2, 3. Even after Shinsuke lands for Kinshasa! No. Jinder Mahal is still the WWE champion. I'm not upset. I'm going to explain why. I'm not upset that Jinder Mahal is still WWE champion, because they are really setting us up. They're setting us up for something big at SummerSlam. No, not SummerSlam, but that's been. Something big for Survivor Series. You can tell something's going to either happen at Survivor Series or even as late as Royal Rumble, but I doubt they'll go that far. That will really show how good Jinder Mahal actually is as the champion and as a heel, but put someone who deserves that championship on that pedestal. And my money's on AJ Styles. Think about it. AJ might have lost the championship to Corbin, but Corbin can now feud with Ty Dillinger for the US Championship, leaving AJ Styles with a chance to go after Jinder Mahal at Survivor Series, winning the championship, going to the Royal Rumble, defending it against Shinsuke Nakamura, or yet again, I don't really want that. I don't want him to defend against Shinsuke at Royal Rumble. I would love for AJ to win a Survivor Series, take the championship to Royal Rumble, defend it against ex-opponent here, big lead in, all the way up to WrestleMania. And WrestleMania, we get the dream match. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship, where Shinsuke solidifies himself as the champion. That would look amazing. How the fuck is Jinder WWE champion? It's a long thing. A lot of it has to do with the WWE trying to win over the Indian demographic, because they had a big release of the WWE over there. He's grown into it now, but I think the problem is he's a great heel, but he still doesn't deserve the championship, in my opinion. He is a great heel now. It's just he's doing nothing with the championship, and the championship is doing nothing with him. And quite frankly, if you're nothing without the championship, you're nothing with the championship. You've got to have something going in. And because Mahal never had that going in, it doesn't matter how good of a heel he ends up becoming. He just doesn't have it. At all. End of the day, though, alright match. I would have loved it for Shinsuke to break out of 2 and maybe win it. Or the match to go on that little bit longer after the Singh brothers left. It was alright. It did the job. 3 out of 5. Very good work rate from Jinder. Have seen better from Shinsuke, but who knows? We might have something big lined up for Survivor Series with Shinsuke. Love to see him on a Team SmackDown with SmackDown vs. Raw going on. Would love that, but we'll see. We had a really nice Kevin Owens promo after this. And Kevin Owens just takes the microphone, pushes the interviewer out of the way, and is literally just telling the world why he is the guy to watch in the Hell in a Cell, why he is the most dangerous guy, why he's going to dominate. While he, why is it that he, on the inside of those 4 walls, is going to be the one guy that is going to dominate the entire match? Fantastic Kevin Owens promo. I love him. And it sets up the match perfectly. Then we have a match I was hoping was going to be a good filler leading up to the main event. We have Glorious I will give in till I'm victorious. It's Bobby Roode. And Bobby Roode. Can I just take a moment? Bobby Roode's amazing. Like, I've followed him from TNA. I've seen him live in TNA when he's been solo or with Beer Money. Amazing wrestler. Love his talent. Love the gimmick of being glorious with his theme tune. Just money. Money, money, yeah, yeah. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Ziggles, on the other hand, I still love him. I want him to do well, but his gimmick's all over the place, man. He's all over the place, his gimmick's all over the place, and it showed even in his entrance, where he has no music, no flashy stuff. He just walks down the ring with no Titantron, no lights, just him walking down the ring, all serious face. And then the commentators are trying to cover this up by saying, he's coming down the ring, he doesn't need any flashy entrances or anything like that, because he's one of the best in the business. And then this entire match is nothing. Well, yeah, I hope you enjoy that clash. I like being energetic. I like it. It's another reason why it's X marks the cast, because it's like, ah! Yeah, like, he's supposed to be marked out as the best. Like, one of the best on SmackDown, one of the best in the industry at this moment in time. Never shows it at any point in this match. He was about as entertaining as a 2x4 going from standing position to falling prone. It was awful to see Dolph Ziggler drag this match for as long as it did. And Bobby Roode, bless him, fantastic moves. I can't fault Bobby on this match at all. There were some fantastic and beautiful moves that we saw in there. None of Bobby Roode's classic moves that we normally see, such as his gorgeous, like, Arn Anderson spine buster, or even Bobby Roode's finisher. Nothing like that. Nothing! Like, just to skip to the end of this, because quite frankly it was so boring. Even the mark-out moments were boring to even imagine. Because even though I was happy that Roode landed something, the match was still dragging on. And it was terrible. It was so terrible, and I hated it. Basically, the finisher comes along where we have a final sequence where it's really nice. It's very high octane, roll-ups. No worries, Clash. I'll see you next time. Really nice series of like roll-ups and 1, 2, rolling up to the next guy. 1, 2, rolling up to the next guy. And Bobby Roode wins. Out of nowhere. I was fine with this. I was actually fine with this, as if to think, okay, this is Ziggler's plan backfiring on him because he was being too cocky. He was going in with the whole idea of, nah, I'm the veteran here, and then he loses to an actual veteran. That would be amazing. But no, it happens, Bobby wins, he's about to celebrate, Glorious kicks in, and all of a sudden it's all gone because Dolph lands the zigzag and walks off as if to say, oh, screw you then for winning. I'm like Ziggler just stole all the thunder for no reason. And I hated that. So with all that in mind, the match was boring, but it was still a match. There was nothing about the match that I could say. It's not like there were botches left, right and centre to the point where this match was god-awful and deserves a 1. It's not that at all. The match is a 2. It was solid, there were no botches, but it was boring. It was completely boring. And as much as I don't want to point blames anywhere, I've got to point the blame at Dolph Ziggler for this one. Because Bobby Roode had none of his original offense, none of his moves are iconic to his moveset now. And Dolph, and like the commentary trying to cover it all up as Dolph is like this magnificent, like, veteran wrestler on the roster. Just no, it doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. 2 out of 5. Let's move on to our main event of the evening. Just as soon as I have a drink, because my guy. Ugh. You gotta keep them lubricated. You know what I mean. I'm talking about the throat, not that. This main event was brilliant. I loved this main event. Again, like this is like the third greatest match of the evening. And thanks to this match, I'm willing to say that this pay-per-view is a good pay-per-view. Not the best, not a great pay-per-view, but a good pay-per-view. This match helped to make it really good. My God, Shane O'Mac versus Kevin Owens, Hell in a Cell, featuring Falls Count Anywhere. Because normally in a Hell in a Cell match, it doesn't matter whether you're inside, outside, you're brawling on the top, whatever. You have to get the 1, 2, 3 in the ring to demand a winner. With Falls Count Anywhere, anything can now happen. You can fight on top of the cell and pin on top of there. You can fight outside of the cell and pin on the outside. Pin on the inside. You can pin on the floor on the inside of the cell. Anything goes. Great. Blood feud going in. Blood feud throughout. My God, this was a fantastic match from beginning to end. Simple as that. From beginning to end. So let's do this bit by bit from what my notes say, because this was amazing. Immediate fight to the outside of the cell. Loved it. Because you had this whole idea beforehand of Kevin Owens' promo showing off that as long as I'm inside those 4 walls, I am the one guy you need to keep your eyes on. So what does Shane do? He ends up beating him up outside of the 4 walls. Great job. And then they end up brawling, going into the inside, and this is where the interesting stories happen. This is where Shane has the upper hand to start off with, and then all of a sudden KO just brings it all back in, having like the upper hand on top of Shane, beating him down, throwing out the insults, even towards Shane's kids, of all people, which was really heelish. Love Kevin Owens for that. There were some beautiful moves where things just happen all the time. KO with an amazing senton, reversed with knees into the back of a senton, which looked like it hurt really bad. Really nice overhead DDT from Shane. There was some lovely KO splashes for 2 counts. And then, of course, you had the segments on top of the cell where they ended up brawling under the outside, climbing up the cell, beating the crap out of each other on top of the cell with super kicks, with power bombs, with suplexes. You didn't know whether the cell was going to break at one point. There was a point where Kevin Owens was going to throw Shane off of the cell, and he just manages to slide and keep his cool. Hot damn. And then KO just decides, screw it. Screw it. And is climbing down the cell. Shane chases after him. Bang. Bang. Gets flown off. KO into the back of a chair. No, sorry. Back of the Spanish announce table. Looks like Shane's going for a pin. Stops. He stops. Looks at the cell. Looks back. Sets Kevin Owens on the regular announce table. Goes back up the cell, ready to make another moment like he did with The Undertaker. So now, he's set up. Everything looks like, okay, Shane's going to win. Shane with the elbow, and as a complete swerve that completely stole the night. Like, you didn't even notice it until the replays kicked in, or until you saw who it was after Shane lands. Shane lands, and originally I thought, wow, that's amazing. And then you see it, and I'm like, where's Kevin? Where's Kevin? He missed. And Kevin Owens is not there, but KO was KO. He was knocked out. And then you see Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens was saved by Sami Zayn and pulled out of the way, literally inches, I'm willing to say even millimeters away from KO's head. And Shane lands on the table. My God, it was so close. And like the EMTs are trying to like get Shane all set up because he's really, really hurt. The Sami just throws Kevin on top of Shane. 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens wins a massive match at Hell in a Cell, and what a way to end. You've now got the added dynamic of Sami Zayn. Shane McMahon gets some time out there because he needs to recover after that. My God. My God damn. But an amazing match. Absolute amazing match. 4 out of 5 worthy. The swerve with Sami Zayn at the end was beautiful. I loved it. Loved it. And with that said, now we've got the overall looks. Now, the overall, we've got 3 out of 5 for the show overall. It was good. It was a good show. It wasn't great. It wasn't the perfect pay-per-view, but it did the job. It had 3 really good matches on the card, which I'd heavily suggest watching. Those being the tag match with the Usos and the New Day. That being the United States Championship Triple Threat match, which was really awesome. And last but not least, the Hell in a Cell match for the main event. Great stuff. It was a letdown in the WWE Championship match. The Rusev Orton match was boring. The Natalya and Charlotte match would have been amazing. But because of that ending, I'm very 50-50 on how you can even really score that. It just ended out of nowhere, and it just like you had all this momentum and then block. That's exactly the perfect way to put it. The momentum and then blocking it out of nowhere. It was bad. It was bad of them to do that. Like, if it was to save Charlotte from further injury, then fair play. I'll take this all back. But until proven otherwise, just a bad angle, really. It was just a bad angle. And then Ziggler versus Bobby Roode, awful. Like, it was just awful. I've seen much better in both of them, but I personally blame Ziggler because Ziggler was just so unentertaining, while everything Bobby Roode did was entertaining. A good show. If you want to watch it, go for it. I don't think it's a show that everyone needs to watch, but it's definitely up there with shows that you can watch. And there you go. That is my review of WWE Hell in a Cell 2017. A good pay-per-view. Maybe you shouldn't go back and watch it, but quite frankly, it does the job. Simple as that. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to be ending the podcast here. Normally, I would be leaving up to you guys, asking some questions either about the topic we've had for today, which has been the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view review, or bringing up anything else geeky-wise or wrestling-wise or anything along those lines. But sadly, with it being late, me having work tomorrow, and the Plains of Eidolon coming out for Warframe that I need to play in preparation for the next podcast in 2 weeks' time, I need to get myself set. So if you are watching this live as of right now, the archived version of this live stream will be available as of tomorrow after I return from my workplace, which is around about the afternoonish. And then if you are watching this after it's been made live on YouTube, you've enjoyed. And if you've enjoyed, either on YouTube, on Mixer, on Twitch, anywhere where this is being live streamed, be sure to give a big thumbs up. And why not send over a subscription or a follow if you have enjoyed. Every little helps, and every little does help indeed. You can also join me on the Discord channel. Information is down in the description below of YouTube and in Twitch. Also, where you can chat with all of us lot and become a member of the Explosive Armada here today. And even get a prioritised chance of being a special guest here on X Marks the Card. With all that said, ladies and gentlemen, tune in next time when we're going to be having another topic for the show. If you've got any ideas for topics, be sure to leave them in the comment section below with your thoughts on the podcast and what we've been reviewing in general. Until next time, I am TheXploder, Dom, TheXploder Coles, here on YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer for this evening's podcast. Stay explosive, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, guys. See you then.